Today, we're going to talk about dreams. Dreams are interesting. I know I've had several dreams that have been unique, and I know I lucid dream, and come to find out other people don't lucid dream, which is fine. It's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. And some people, they have, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on, and the dream world is very strange. So that's what we're going to talk about this time. And really, the whole takeaway, what we're trying to get at, is that the actions in your dreams have actual physical consequences in the real world. What exactly that means, that's the journey I'm on, right? That's the journey we're on. We know that there are things that happen in the dream world that manifest in the real world. We don't know exactly how it works, but that's what we're trying to figure out. All right, so don't go to sleep. Stupid dad joke.
Got him.
Just hang on, and here we go. Let's talk about some dreams.
What is going on? Welcome to the Tinfoil Kingdom. I am your co-host, Nick, and this is Caleb. We are back at it today. We're going to be talking about dreams. Dreams.
Everybody's got dreams. First off, I'm a little ick right now, so if I sound a little weird or look a little strange, part of that's normal, part of that's just I'm getting over some crud, so sorry about that. But yeah, dreams. We all have dreams. It's interesting, we were talking off before camera stuff. Some people lucid dream, which I forgot the term for a minute, which I do. I lucid dream, which is my understanding of the definition of that is you have control of your dream. You're awake in your dream. You're an active participant. You're not an observer. Some people are observers in their dreams, and some people, I think they dream, but they wake up and they immediately forget. They never even remember their dream. It's just go to sleep, it's black, and they wake up, and that's it. So yeah, I never put a whole lot of stock into dreams, like as far as there being any real importance. Or, I mean, some dreams would be important. I mean, if God showed up and talked to you in your dream, it'd be pretty important.
Might want to remember that one.
You probably would remember that one. But yeah, I'm not always looking for like deep theological meanings in all of my dreams.
Sure.
Right. A lot of times they're just fun or whatever. And I think that's also what got me thinking about all this stuff. Is a lot of times, especially after talking to my brother, we realized that a lot of people think the dream world is just it's a free pass for anything. It's just a dream.
Yeah.
It's nothing. It doesn't mean anything because you're literally doing nothing. You're sleeping and you're just dreaming.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that kind of where you had?
Yeah. I mean, I that makes me think of two questions I would want to follow up with you about. One, do you think that everyone dreams? Everyone has dreams. They just may not remember them, because you hear people be like, "I don't have dreams."
I think so. I think people do. I think it's just because, again, we were talking off camera, your brain doesn't really shut off.
Right.
So there's stuff going on all the time in your head. And so, yeah, I think, and I don't know how important that is, but I think I think everybody does. At least at some point they do dream. Mm-hmm. It may not be all night or however, your sleep cycles work. I'm not a sleep scientist.
Sleepologist.
Yeah, I'm not one of those people. No. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's definitely interesting. The subconscious is pretty much the only part of our body that is active 100% of the time. Mm-hmm. Like, it is always going asleep, awake, it doesn't matter. Like, the rest of us pretty much shuts down into a temporary paralysis state for sleep.
Yeah.
Essentially. And then our subconscious is still going, still active, still engaged, still trying to get out messages or communicate somehow. I don't understand. I'm not a scientist, a dream scientist, but if that's even a thing. So people dream. We established that. I think that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Do you think that someone has control or influence over their dreams?
I think some people do. I think that's what the lucid dreaming is, right? Where you're not a observer. Mm-hmm. You actively participate and can manipulate the dream, right? Because again, we were talking before, I had nightmares growing up, and I mean, it would have been younger than 12. I was relatively young, and I remember being scared in my dreams, have these nightmares of this gang of bullies that would run around, and they basically, I think I was scared they're gonna like rip me to shreds or something. You know, it was some horrific thing that they were gonna do. And I was scared, and I was always running from them and everything. And then one of my dreams, I crawled up on top of this semi truck, the truck part that was like parked in somebody's driveway, and they all surrounded me, and they're all gonna like get me and everything. And I was like, no, like you're not gonna do that. And I jumped off and I killed myself. And I remember jumping off, and everything went black, and I like died in my dream. I don't remember if I woke up at the time or exactly how that happened, but I remember the next time that I dreamed, it's like something had broken. Something was unlocked, as it were, which sounds really weird, kind of, but I was not scared in my dreams like that anymore, because if somebody came at me, like I was the game master, however it works, I could just turn them into a butterfly or whatever. I could just, they couldn't do anything in my dreams. They couldn't do anything to me anymore, right? If they, anything, like if I was in some kind of weird situation, I could just completely manipulate the whole thing.
Wow.
And then it would all go back to looking normal and real in the dream, and then you would go and play and do stuff and things and interact with your dream.
Yeah.
So it turned dreams into a lot of fun, because you could do a whole lot of stuff. You know?
Dude, you just described the plot of Inception.
Right? Right? Yeah.
That is wild. So it sounds like you had this like death of your dream self, and you
kind of
came back to, or you moved on to the next level. It's like you leveled up. Now you can, because I have no idea what you're talking about. Like that makes no sense to me. I feel like I'm the observer of myself in my dream.
So you don't see through your own eyes. You just.
I mean, I feel like sometimes I do, but more often than not, I'm almost reacting to what I see myself doing. Like I'm kind of in this third person, first person blend of a reality. Like I have that sense, like, you know, you try to run and you can't, or you try to hit something and you can't. You're just like, there's this wall you're up against.
Okay.
And like I can't control what's happening around me or influence it in any way. And you're like over here, like building crazy stuff and like influencing people, and like
80% of the time, 90% of the time it'll work. Sometimes I think it's like a blend between being lucid and not lucid, right? Like,
yeah,
because there'll be times where you want to run and you just can't run, and that'll happen sometimes. But then at some point, you like wake up in your dream and be like, oh, I'm gonna fly. It's like, just screw the running thing. I'm out of here. You know, and it's like, we're not doing that. You know, I don't know. That's interesting. So do you feel things in your dream, or you're just strictly an observer? Like you're watching TV?
There's definitely been times where I felt things like emotionally. Like I woke up crying before. Yeah. I've woken myself up falling. You know? Yeah. Yeah, there has been moments in my life where what is happening in my dream carries over into this understanding of reality. Like when I wake up from that dream, like I feel it. Like you feel like something, and that is very hard to explain. Like what is that? It's almost like, or you wake up and you have no idea where you are. You like you think you're in the place that you're in the dream, and then you wake up, you're like, where am I? And you're like panicking.
Takes a minute to reset. Yeah. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Or you know, I've had a experience with a I'll say unfriendly entity, and it started in my dream and transitioned into after I had woken up.
Really?
Yeah. We could get into this story later. But it was like I was asleep. It was in the dream. Woke up. It was in my room, and I was like, trippy. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super trippy. So, you know, or. Yeah, there is a part of dreams, like, you know, you associate things that you watched or listened to or heard that day.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah. Do you think that people can train themselves to be able to do this, like lucid dreaming, or is it just something you have or don't have?
From what I understand, and this is where it sounds cultish and everything, or new ageish and weird. I think people can do that, just like people, and I am not an advocate for like astral projecting and stuff. We are not supposed to do that, and I think that is something we are not supposed to mess with and not even try to participate in stuff like that. In your dreams, I'm not sure where the line is on all that, as far as like people wanting to lucid dream, I know for me, I wasn't trying to do anything nefarious.
Right.
I was literally trying to run away from this fear of people ripping me to shreds. And so like I was at the end of my rope, and I was like, the only thing I know to do is just take control, and just ultimate control is, you're not going to kill me. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to stop this whole thing. And so I don't know. I think people could. I don't know why people couldn't train themselves to do this. It's just whenever I have stuff like this that I don't 100% understand, I would have huge caution of saying, yeah, run out there, kill yourself in your dreams, like just do whatever. It's like, I think there's some other stuff that goes on.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm not sure how it all works. And maybe some people, I really don't know. I'm just rambling because I don't know. I think you can. That's the short answer to the question. I think people can train themselves to it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say after that. Like, I don't think it's a sin at all. I don't know what else is involved in that. You know, it's like opening Pandora's box. I don't know what else is in there. I don't know. I don't know. You can't really shut it. You know, like once you, at least for me, it's not like I go back to non-lucid dreaming. It just doesn't work like that.
Doesn't work.
No. And for me in general, it's a good thing because you can actually workshop stuff and talk about things and figure stuff out. I mean, not like figure new things out, but just talk to yourself. I mean, I talk to myself all the time. In my head, and yeah, it's like Second Life, and I'm from from The Office.
His character made his own Second Life.
Exactly right.
Second Life.
It's something like that, though, in a way. I mean, that's what it kind of feels like sometimes. And sometimes you'll have the reoccurring dreams where it's like chapter after chapter, and the thing goes on, and the story continues.
Dude,
and so those are cool. And I don't know. I always just assume that everybody can just kind of do that, but I guess not. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, I can't. And talking about the things that we don't understand, or we're trying to figure out. That's why we're here in the tinfoil kingdom, is to talk about them and just work through it. And it seems like there is a line somewhere, and it might be a blurry line between lucid dreaming, being like your own dream architect, and then crossing over into astral projection, remote viewing, whatever you want to like call it. There is a nefarious point where I feel like now it's turning into something else.
Yeah.
And I would say that is an influence of the kingdom of darkness in some way.
Absolutely.
But I don't know all the mechanics of how that works.
I don't know. I know it got dark for me for a while, because this was while we, I can't remember if this was while we were here. If it was while we were here, it was within the last 5 years. I don't know. I would say between the last 5 and 7 years, a lot happened to me in a lot of ways in the last 5 to 7 years. But I started really looking into just weird, scary stories. You know, there's John Ballin. He tells scary stories, and that's one thing. But then there's a lot of other storytellers out there, especially on YouTube, that how much of the stories are real and fake, I don't know. But I was just absorbing everything, listening to all the stories, just trying to like glean anything from it, and just pure entertainment, fun stuff, whatever, but listening to every kind of scary story thing out there. And I remember it started to get to the point to where stuff would come at me in my dreams, like witches and different other things that I couldn't control and I couldn't stop. And the only way I was able to get out of those things was just like screaming the name of Jesus, right? And to wake myself up, because I would have to like actually get awake, and then I'd be fine. And I would wake my wife up because like I'd be screaming, and I'd be like making this noise, because I knew in my head if I could make myself hear myself in the real world, then I will wake up and then this will stop. So stuff got weird at that point, and that's whenever I started backing off. I was like, whoa. I think something's coming in, something's happening, stuff is, whether I'm just scaring myself, which there could be definite components of that, because it's your dreams, it's made up of your own stuff, I think most of the time, but I think other stuff can get into your dreams. Yeah.
So I think, we need to ask the question then, does the kingdom of darkness or a demonic entity have access to your subconscious? Can they get in there?
Yeah, I would say yes. And I know probably a lot of Baptists would have a problem with that. Probably a lot of very hard-line individuals would have a problem with that. But I can say for myself that I have had things in my dreams, and you just said you've had things in your dreams that are not good. And I do not think they're just coming from our own subconscious, like we created them out of our own mind. I think maybe some things, scary spiders or whatever, I'm not sure, but stuff that is evil, like, yeah, I think stuff can have access to that, not just in your dreams, but we were talking about this earlier. Our brain waves are there's just electrical synapses, and it's just science crap that goes on in your head. And you can read that. You can put little things on your head, and people can read your brain waves, and 5G and all the other stuff that's out there that you can get influenced by. And if that's just technology that we have access to, then how about things that are eons older than us, that have way more technology, way more understanding of how the human body works and how the spirit works and how the soul and all those things combined work? Yeah, I don't see why they can't do that. I do not know of a verse to point to that says evil can't read your mind. I know it's very uncomfortable for people to think that, because they're like, oh, it's fine. Like, again, it's like, if they don't understand it, strip everything of its supernaturality or whatever, and just be like, no, don't worry about it, because that doesn't make sense. So, no. But that's a presupposition that stuff can't do that. I think things can. I absolutely think things can get into your head and mess with you. And know what you're saying. Yeah. Like reading your thoughts, yeah. I'm in that weird camp. I think they can. And that's why I think praying for hedges of protection around yourself and around your family, I think there's reasons you do things like that. Because it binds them. It puts a hedge around you where they can't come in and mess with you. That's why with me in my house, when we pray at night before we go to bed, I always pray that. It probably sounds off the cuff a lot of times because we pray it every night, but I ask for a hedge of protection around us while we sleep, because there's stuff that goes on when we're sleeping, and I don't want that messing with my kids. I don't want to mess with me or my wife, and I know it still gets through sometimes because I know stories that it's happened, and dreams and stuff that they've had. And so I can only do as much as what I can do as far as praying that, which that gets into a whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah, it's not just as simple. This sounds more like Laura Sanger stuff. It's not just as simple as just saying Jesus' name, right? I think there's a lot more to all that, right? It's not like you can't go into battle and be like, I got a gun, I won. It's like, no, you got to know how to use it in a way. I know I don't even know what all that means, but I'm on that cliff edge of being like, okay, I know there's something. I know there's something more than just saying that. Yeah. I don't even know how to articulate that into words, especially putting that into like dream stuff, because that's already sounding really strange.
Yeah, dude. Wow. There's just so many directions that we can take. It just opened up. I think what would be really interesting to talk more about, and what our audience might be interested in, is if we have technology that can access our brain functions through, electrical magnetic pulses, like everything that's happening in our minds is electronic, essentially. Like
basically.
And so if we have access to that, we have that technology. And if the demonic can access our subconscious, is there a physical element to these beings or entities that we would label as supernatural?
Yeah. Well, like this is when we talked about this before, this is supernatural 300 years ago, right? And we carry these around with us.
Right. So if we look at beings that are thousands of years older than us.
Yeah, if not more.
And that have been, who knows? They're just older than us.
Yeah.
At least by thousands of years. If you, separate discussion.
Yeah.
If you're a young earther out there, welcome to the show. We're happy you're here. So we have beings that are much older than us that have access to who knows what kind of technology.
Yeah.
And so we're saying that they have some sort of physical reality to them, like they exist in our understanding of reality.
I think so, absolutely, yeah. The whole Timothy Alberino thing.
So they might have a tool or some piece of tech that can read our minds and or access our subconscious through electromagnetic waves.
Yeah, they could have. It could be an actual tool, or this ties in a whole bunch of other stuff. But the whole thing where we don't use all of our brains,
right?
How much of your brain is just turned off?
What do we use? How much?
Right?
10%.
People say 10%, 30. Like I don't even know if we even
100.
know. It's not 100. It's not. So there's a substantial portion of our brain that is not being used. Or it doesn't seem to be being used. Maybe it's like the appendix and it really is, and we just don't understand it. I'm not sure, but it seems like there's a lot of our brain that is not being used. So something's turned off, right? And I would say that goes back to the whole fall of humanity, right? Where something was turned off. I think it even goes back to Babel, where something was turned off. The languages and all that stuff, it was turned off. And so if these things, these entities, these beings, whatever, that are very old, if they can get your permission to turn something on, even if it's just in your brain, just a synapse, a little thing, something that's just part of who we are, because there are people that can, communicate telepathically or see stuff or do things weird with their brain that they don't need tech to do it. It's already like hardwired into our system. It's just on for them, maybe even like lucid dreaming. Everybody probably can do it. It's just some things turned off and some things turned on and some things are cross-wired. I don't know. And so there could be physical tech, but there could also just be they know they have your permission through iniquity, basically. You've given permission away, and they've turned something on. They've opened something up, and they may not be always present, but now they have access to you, like a computer. Like they have your, I don't know, Wi-Fi password, whatever. They can get in there and
they have your brain password.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I think it is worth pointing out, like we're saying that the demonic can't just access your brain. They need
they don't
permission.
Have a free pass. Yeah.
Right. They need authorization. So that's where you are allowing them to mess with you.
Yeah.
You've given them permission somehow to access yourself.
Yeah.
And they can't just come in and start messing around with you unless that permission is given.
Whether it's given by you or given by God, something of higher authority has to give them permission, right? I mean, Job comes to mind. I mean, whoever you want to think the Satan is, it was some kind of an entity, being, thing, and it was very powerful. And this could get into a whole other thing. It had the power to like whip up a stinking storm, right? So elemental spirits or whatever, but it had power to do that, but it had to get God's authority or permission to go do stuff to Job, right? And even though Job had no idea what's going on, he had no say in the whole matter. So there's times where God can supersede and give permission, and then there's times where we, through our own, like I said earlier, iniquity, sins, things that we've done, whether knowingly or unknowingly, I think we give away permission in those areas like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what I think is interesting about the dream that you shared, jumping off the truck, it's like, do you think that if a demonic entity has access to your dreams, that they can start sending you subliminal messages through your subconscious in your dreams that you start to understand once you wake up? Like,
probably,
what if you lived, like, say you had that dream and you're like, I killed myself to get out of this situation because I wanted to be in control. Now, if you're struggling with things in life or you're having a hard time, and now you start to think like, hey, this worked in my dream,
Yeah.
why wouldn't it work in reality or when I'm awake?
Yeah.
And so now you start to think like, hey, maybe I will do this thing. Maybe I will kill myself. Maybe this is a good idea. Do you think like there's some truth to that part of that? Because, what does our adversary, our opponent want us to do? Like they want us to go, they want us to go out and, separate us from that connection to God.
Yeah.
So if they can convince somebody that suicide is a good idea, and that's kind of their tactic, isn't it? Right?
Yeah. To remove you. Yeah. Get you out. 100% think so. Yeah. And that's not where I was at in my mind. That's where I'm thinking in my mind. It wasn't nefarious of what I was doing. I don't even know. I was just grasping at straws to try to control the situation, right? And I wasn't having those kind of like thoughts outside of the dream world.
Right.
But I can absolutely see what you're saying. Like people who are dealing with those kind of thoughts and depression and things. Absolutely. I could see where that would be.
Yeah. I mean, to bring it all together too. And you're talking about now you have, we've established that they're much older than we are. They've been around for way longer than we have. They know way more than we know.
Yeah.
So now they know like your family, they know your history, they know like your interactions with other people, how you are, where you work or at school or what, like how you're feeling, and they can start to play on your emotions, play on your feelings and be like, start influencing you, dropping little hints here and there. Like what's the best lies, 3/4 truth, right? So start with little things, start planting that seed and letting it grow. And that can happen. That could start in your dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Which is pretty wild to think about.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on like dream journaling or like writing? Have you ever written dreams
I haven't
down?
ever done that. No. Because I wasn't trying to, I think that's one way people try to lucid dreams. They start writing stuff down, I think. I heard that. I don't know. But I never did because I wasn't really trying to lucid dream. I was trying to get out of that nightmare. But I've never tried it. I don't know. I think I'm too groggy in the morning and
it's too much work.
Want to fall down the stairs and get my coffee and then wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. But there's a lot of weird stuff. I don't know. Dreams are trippy, man.
Yeah.
Like even I was just sick. Like I just said, I just came off of being sick. And I remember when I had the worst fever, you always had the weirdest dreams. And it was all about shapes and these lines. And I had to organize everything. And somehow I knew in my mind that if I got everything like this puzzle all put together, then I get better. So I'm like getting these boxes and squares all put together. And there's different layers. And the bottom layer was like this mash of like banana peel food, just like everything of like it wasn't organized. And somehow it was almost all done. And then it all got knocked away. And I was like, oh, magnets. It's like, I don't know what any of this dream had to do with anything. But when you have fever dreams, it's...
magnets.
Yeah, it made so much sense in my dream. And if I had written that down when I woke up, like I had an epiphany. Like everything made sense. Everything was clear. It was, I don't know what was clear or what was made sense. If I had written it down, I'd probably remember. But yeah, I think if you write stuff down, you might... I don't know what is applicable.
Yeah.
I just figured out that magnets were holding me in my bed or something.
Yourself some magnets?
No, I thought they were like holding me in my bed or like something weird. It was weird. Yeah,
that is weird.
It was a fever dream. And generally I have the same fever dream, but it's not that one. It's a completely different dream. It has to do with like texture or not like you feel, I don't even know how to describe it. You feel like pressure right here in your nose. And I don't know, it's in this beaver's den. It's really weird.
It sounds like you're tripping.
It does, right? Probably. Well, because fever dreams are like that. Your brain is all scrambled. And I guess, yeah.
Yeah, the beaver's den.
It's always the same. When I have that dream, I know I'm highly feverish.
That is funny.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's not lucid. I have no control on that one. It just happens.
It just happens.
Yeah.
You're there for the ride.
Yeah.
Do you have, can you think of any particular dream that stands out to you that was like, you woke up and you're like, what the heck's going on here? Or...
So You talk about like the one we talked about before.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Which that's like the culmination of like that's brought this dream that I had recently. Yeah, pretty recently. It's brought me to the point to be like, okay, there's definitely things going on in my dreams. So to set that up, I know. Again, back whenever I was really just absorbing all the stories and information, I would hear people talk about how to look out in your dreams for bad entities, bad things, bad juju. Even people in New Age stuff, I mean, they see things as good and bad and all this stuff. And some things are really dark and evil and bad. They're not supposed to be there, and you want to get rid of them and all this stuff. And so one way you would see them in your dreams is you would recognize that this individual, this thing, is not supposed to be there. And you basically confront it. You look at it, you recognize it, you call it out, and it will go away because it will know it's not supposed to be there. And so I look for things like that in my dreams sometimes because I don't want entities or things messing with me. And I have authority in my body. Like, God gave me this body, and I need to keep it clean and keep stuff out. That's the idea. And it kind of, so with that in mind, it kind of flip-flops because sometimes we look at our dreams as being a complete free pass, smorgasbord, whatever happens in the dream world stays in dream world because it's dreams and it means nothing and it's all just whatever. And I think most guys, if they're honest, if they dream, they have sexual dreams. Just put it that way. And anything and everything of every form and manner probably happens in dreams that people would never do. Like, they would never do these things in the real world because they're going to go to jail. You kill people in your dreams. You do all kinds of crazy stuff in your dreams. And in the sexual aspect, I think a lot of stuff happens that people just are like, it's just a dream. Like, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah. And I think for a lot of people, when they're not lucid dreaming, I don't know how much control they have over this. I don't know how that works because I can see what's happening. And most of the time, sometimes I will be like halfway through a dream and then I'll kind of wake up in my dream. Then I'll become lucid. And so that's what happened in this one particular dream where I was having a encounter, we'll just call it that, with a female thing. I call it a thing because everything was going like you would expect in one of these dreams. And I kind of woke up in my dream and realized what was going on. And I knew I had, I could make a choice because I was conscious. And I've been talking to my brother about the exact same kind of stuff because he's had some stuff that's happened in his family. And it's like, you have it, like, it becomes like things in your dreams, things become a sin. They become wrong whenever you make a choice to do something wrong. Stuff just happens to you. And you have no control over anything, right? But when you make a choice to do something, then that becomes wrong. And so I was at that point in my dream where all of a sudden it's like I opened my eyes. I'm like, okay, I'm in control of this dream now, and I know exactly what's going on. And no, I'm not gonna do this. And I remember I was like, I don't know how to make this thing go away or how to make this exactly stop. And I don't think this is just coincidence that this is happening in my dream after I talked to my brother. So I'm thinking this in my head, like, I think this is something. This is not just a hallucination of something in my dream. This is a thing. This is a entity. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know how to make it go away. So I just was like, be gone. I just made this gesture and I told it to go away. And its face just contorted. And it got angry, like it got found out. And it was like the gig was up and I called it out and it didn't want that. And it had no say anymore. And it left. And I was like, dude, that was trippy. So for me, then that was within the last, I think, few weeks that happened, or maybe month. And yeah, I'm like, I don't know what that was. And maybe I just think too much about weird stuff and it's all just hearsay and it's all just part of, my digestive system and things. But I don't think so. I think, I don't want to give away my brother's story on here because that's his story to tell and it's got a lot of personal family stuff in it. But I think as the head of the house, if you open yourself up to things in your dreams and you allow things in your dreams, that is the exact same as allowing stuff in the awakening world. It's iniquity is iniquity, sin is sin in that aspect. And you are allowing things to come in. And if we look at dreams as just benign freebie,
Yeah.
background noise, then it's going to be hard to try to convince people that no, what actually happens in those dreams has physical, actual consequences. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm not gonna give all my brother's story away and stuff, but they're still trying to figure out exactly what the physical ramifications of how stuff happened in their family, and it's weird, it's very trippy, and I think I'm at the point again to where I can see it. I see that there's weird stuff going on. I don't know exactly what to do with it all. Yeah. I really don't. And so, like, I was gonna try last night. But I was a little sick, and I guess I probably just had another magnet fever dream. I don't know. But I was like, how do you pray in your dreams?
Yeah.
Like if you don't lucid dream, then I don't know how you would do that. But if you lucid dream, have you ever prayed in your dream to like it almost sounds like, oh, but you're trying to get closer to God, and that's wrong. It's like, no, you're trying to get closer to God. Now you got to be careful because again, you got to test the spirits. If you pray in your dreams and something comes to you and starts speaking to you, mm-hmm. and then you start questioning it, and it is not of God, whoa,
like,
you better be casting some demons out,
you might want to ask that guy a few questions.
Exactly, right. But there are plenty of times where God comes to people in dreams, and we were talking about this before too. God meets people on mountaintops, mm-hmm. and in dreams, it seems like those are places and times where like heaven and earth meet in a thinner place.
It's a little
right?
thinner.
It's a little thinner. Whatever that even means, however exactly that works, it seems like it is.
Then that's what we're here to talk about.
Right?
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, man. That is, now I'm all set with that. That is too much for me.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
And that's not even like prophetic dreams. This is just, because there's people that I know, there's people in our church that will dream and like see things of like this is going to happen, almost like prophetic kind of weird stuff. It that boggles my mind. I do not have that at all. Mm-hmm. I do not have any of that kind of thing going on.
But there is some physical, like there are consequences in this physical, like the awaking world, mm-hmm. that happen in the dream world. So like that can be the access that you're talking about.
Yes.
Earlier, like that can be the access, and now you're having to deal with the consequences of allowing that access to a demonic entity in the world where you're awake.
Yes.
Like there's not just the dream world is not a free pass to be like, well, it happened in my dream and it doesn't matter.
It's not all key locked away and nobody can touch it. It's like, no.
We established a couple episodes ago, like we're image bearers of God. Mm-hmm. God created us in His image. God is everything, omniscient, omnipresent, all of the omnis. Yep. He has them all, is them all,
omni-all.
Yeah, omni-all. And so if He created us, we sleep about a third of our life, give mm-hmm. or take.
Yeah,
a third of our entire existence is asleep. You don't think that the creator of the universe knew that we were going to be sleeping? So of course He can communicate to us in our dreams. Yeah. Of course there's access there, because why wouldn't there be? He knew that we were going to sleep. It's not like He's like, oh man,
what happened here?
Let me know when you wake up, or sets an alarm for us. Like, of course He can communicate with us, and there's absolutely, there are references after references of God speaking to people in dreams and visions mm-hmm. in the Bible. Like that's very well established.
Yeah.
So, where I was going with this was, God is not like caught off guard. So you talk about praying in your dreams. Like, why not? Why couldn't you? If you can pray when you're awake, why can't you pray when you're asleep? I know for me, like I've struggled with, I've never been able to control what's happening in my dreams. So like before I'll go to sleep, sometimes I'll just be like, God, will you speak to me in my dream? Mm-hmm. Or, just before I go to sleep, kind of setting that intention of like, I want to still communicate with you even while I'm sleeping. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know how to do that in my subconscious, but just like we talked about giving access and permission, like I'm giving the Holy Spirit access to my dreams mm-hmm. to be like, I'm here, whatever you want to talk about in my dream, like, okay. And the stuff has come up in my dreams, and I wake up and be like, wow, okay. Or something like some light bulb goes off. I'm like, oh, all right. Now I can, like I know. So anyway, I just invite the Holy Spirit into my dreams before I go to sleep, because I don't have that gift that you have.
I don't know if it's a gift.
I don't know
what it
but
is.
that thing, whatever that thing is, I don't have it. So, but I do have, I have a couple dreams that have stood out to me. One is dark and one is light, and so just to be clear, there are good dreams out there. It's not all demonically influenced. But yeah, so I'll set this one up because I think it's relevant to the story. In Las Vegas, if you're not familiar with Las Vegas, it is called Sin City for a reason.
Yeah.
Not my number one place to go to. I was there for a work trip, and we were there for a couple weeks. So hotel room, right off the strip, Las Vegas, 4th floor. All right, that's my room. And it is nighttime, doors locked. I am sleeping, only one in the room. It's just me in there, and I start dreaming, and I'm in this house, and it's got a lot of rooms, and this guy is following me around, and he's supposed to be a pastor, or at least that's the vibe that I'm getting from him. Okay. Or he's saying that he's a pastor. He's supposed to be a good guy, but something's off about him. And I'm looking for something in this house. Like I'm going room to room trying to find something I can't find. He's following me around, bugging me. I'm like, dude, leave me alone. He's like, I'm a pastor, I can help or something. I'm like, I just don't like him. And eventually I get frustrated and I go to my room in this house, and I'm like, I'm just going to go to sleep. And I'm pretty sure he has some kind of weapon or an axe or a hammer, something. He has something in his hands. And I get into the bed. I'm like, just leave me alone. Like, I'm going to go to sleep this off. Going to sleep in a dream is a weird, weird space anyway. Yep. But then, so from there, then I wake up, and the whole dream transitions to my reality. Like, so as I went into the bed in my dream, now I'm sleeping in the same position in the bed I actually am in.
Yeah.
And now I have this, I could feel this presence where this guy was in my dream. He was coming alongside of the bed as I was in it. And I like knew he was there. So when I was now in my actual room and awake, I felt this presence, same side of the bed. I'm in the same position now. And like my eyes are open. I'm doing that thing where I'm like, if I don't look, then there's nothing
won't be there.
But I could feel this thing. And then I felt this pressure on my head, like 2 hands pushing against my face, just like this. And I could feel it pushing down on me, and I could not move. And I was like, so I freaked out for a second. And then I just said, Jesus. And I turned over, like I turned around, the pressure went away. I turned over, and there's this shadow thing that was right by the window, and then went out the room.
Dude.
And I was just like, trippy. Whoa. So what do? Naturally, turn all the lights on in the room. All of the lights are on. And I'm like, I'm sleeping with the lights on.
Yep. Make a fort.
But I didn't, it was definitely weird. Like, it was definitely demonic. It was not a friendly entity. Somehow it had access to the room, but it didn't have access to me. And it was trying to get access under the guise of like a friendly, helpful pastor.
Yeah, because it knew you, right?
It knew me.
It knew what you would accept,
it knew like it. But it was like, felt like it was trying to get in or like get a hold of me, but it couldn't. And I had this like, dude, I could feel hands on my face, like pressing me into the bed, and couldn't get in. And then I said Jesus, and it went away. But like I said, trippy. fourth floor. Yeah. It just went out like the wall. So I don't know.
I mean, you get the whole astral projection thing that could be
I didn't see like a being. I saw like this shadow, like a wavy haze black thing, and it was just whoosh, out the window, and I was like, nope. Nope.
Not today, Satan.
Not today. Nope. So yeah, but I went back to sleep. Like, I wasn't scared.
Yeah.
I wasn't scared because I knew, like, I was freaked out, but I
Mhm.
was not scared, and I went back to sleep. I just slept with the lights on because why not?
Why not?
Um,
Better be safe than sorry.
yeah, so that was a pretty wild one for me. That was like the only time I've had some kind of a presence that I can remember. I've had the feeling of being held down before.
Yeah.
One other time, but I don't remember like any sort of like you could
something?
feel.
Okay.
You could feel a presence, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain, but like if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Like you feel it there, and then it just goes away. But
I got you.
yeah,
That's
crazy.
trippy, dude. And how much of that even like it doesn't have access to you, it has access to the room. Going back to the whole like iniquity thing, like I'm sure stuff has gone down in that room.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
And so it has access to that room.
Yeah.
So you can't keep it out, but you can keep it out of yourself.
You could keep it out of yourself.
Right.
And like I don't know about you, man, but if I'm in a hotel, like I'm doing two things. First, I'm checking for bed bugs. Always check for bed bugs. You want to lift that mattress all the way up, look underneath, get the sheets out. Okay, bed bugs, number one. Number two, I'm praying for the room immediately. Like praying over the room. This was a couple of years ago, so I don't remember if I prayed for this particular room. It seems like I probably didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, bed bugs and pray over the room, because just like you're talking about, like something can have access to that room. You have no idea what happened in that hotel room prior to you being there.
Yeah.
Have no idea. And it's just an open door.
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely is an open door. And as we learned, these things don't need doors anyway, physically.
No, not physically.
They don't need physical doors.
Yeah.
You can lock that door all you want. Doesn't matter. They can still somehow
fly through the window.
So, yeah.
That is trippy.
It's scary.
I've never seen anything outside my dream, but I've felt presence. I've never felt stuff touch me, but yeah, I know. Yeah. Like, that sounds like sleep paralysis in a way. That whole kind of
totally,
like,
man. I couldn't move. I couldn't move. I felt like I was like straining my neck to try and move. Like I could feel the insides of me wanting to like push out, and I couldn't. I was just stuck there until I said weird. Jesus.
Yeah.
And it all went away.
That's true.
Yeah. That has not happened again. Like that's only been that one time. Like I said, I was in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So that town is a mess. Anyway, do a whole episode on Vegas. And then I could share my other one if you
said you had a good one, right?
Yeah. So this one was relatively recent, within the past year. Let's see. I have tattoos. I have tattoos on my arms. I have both my arms done, and some other tattoos. I don't have a problem with tattoos. I have a problem with what the tattoo is.
Sure, yeah.
More than the
what
tattoo
it represents
itself. Yeah. But anyway, would I have tattoos now? Probably not. But I got them in a different phase of my life all of that. And I don't have any tattoos I regret, just to be clear about that. Would I do it again? Probably not. But maybe. I still like them. But I digress.
Yeah.
I say that to say this. There are certain traditions that frown upon tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
You know who you are. We don't have to name names. But I don't think that's what God cares about.
No.
Even if you have, crazy tattoo. I'm going off the rails here. I'm gonna bring it back. Anyway, so I'm in this dream. I'm in this place that is white. Is very white, and bright, but not to the point where you have to squint.
Okay.
But it's sterile? It's illuminated.
Okay.
But you're not blinded by it. And so I'm in this place. I'm there, and I look at my left forearm, and the lines of my tattoo are gone. And I'm looking down at it, and I was like, and my girlfriend's in the dream, and I look over to her. I'm like, my tattoo's gone. Look.
Mhm.
And I look back, and there's like down the side of my forearm, there's some sort of inscriptions or lettering or writing that I cannot read.
Okay.
But it's like very clearly symbols or some kind of calligraphy. Is that the right word?
Sure.
Let's go with it.
Yeah.
And then there's like these like wing kind of things along the side of it. And you can see like where my old tattoo kind of is faded out, and then there's these new markings on it. And so like there's some sort of inscription. And I knew that it was the language I could not read, obviously, but it was from a totally different place. Like this is not human language at all. And I realized like, I'm in heaven. This is the language of heaven.
Okay.
And then I'm there with Jesus. And so I'm there with this new marking on me. Jesus is there now. And I'm like, I'm in heaven. This is, or some kind of ethereal, not earth place, right?
Sure.
This is I don't know where I am, but it feels like heaven. And then he says to me, I don't care about your tattoos. He's like, this marking is your identity in heaven. And this is your name, and this is what I care about. I care about your heavenly identity, not the markings that you have on earth. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is not what is important to God. And I remember waking up from that, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea what it said. And I knew it was something other earthly.
It's like Elvish.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was like, is this a Tolkien language?
Throw it in the fire.
Yeah, but it was wild. And then I woke up and I came out of that, and I was like, okay. And like to bring it back to what we talked about in our last couple episodes, is like, I'm still like, you're still an image bearer of God.
Yeah.
Like, this is not, he doesn't care about this. He cares about your identity in heaven. And that's like that believing loyalty.
Yeah.
You know, like it totally, it was this very, very surreal experience, dream that I had. Very, very cool. Very cool experience.
So would you say that, like, even in that, in what he's saying, if I'm hearing you right, that it's not so much 100% about like the tattoos that he doesn't care about, but it's like the image that, you know, maybe you mess up in life or you do other things and whatever. It's not about that. That's, yes, you messed up, but he's forgiven sin. That's not who you are anymore. Kind of like what?
Yeah. It's like you might be, you know, you might have an identity down here on earth, like an earthly identity. Yeah. But you have a heavenly identity. Yeah. And that's what he was saying to me. He was saying, this is what I care about. Right? Whose side are you on? Yeah. Yeah. No, and I am marked in heaven saying, or in here, in all existences and realities, like I am marked as a child of God. Like I am on Yahweh's side. Yeah. And I have that marking. Like that is my tattoo. That's the one that matters. Like the other ones don't matter. And that's what he cares about. It's pretty powerful. Pretty powerful.
That makes sense. It's like the verse where he's no respecter of persons, right? So then president or a, you know, floor scrubber. Yeah. You're all human. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It's good. Yeah. That's good. Very cool. It's very good. Yeah. Interesting. So you've had good dreams. You've had interesting dreams. Yeah,
I've had a couple interesting, and I have some ones that I have written down.
Do you journal them, or just like only if it comes up as interesting?
I probably only have like 2 written down. Yeah. And one of them was weird because
Were you having fevers?
No, I had this weird thing in my mouth that was I was throwing up. I was trying to scoop it out. It's a whole that's a whole nother. I'm not getting into that one. But it was I was trying to get this stuff out of my mouth, and I was throwing up, and I woke up and I was well, my mouth was all weird feeling, and I was what the heck's going on here?
Wow.
I wrote that one down. That one was weird. And then I had one about my dad. He passed a few years ago. I wrote that one down.
Okay.
But yeah, dreams are strange. So what do you think is our big takeaway from this conversation on dreams?
I would say just to be cautious, especially if you're a lucid dreamer, I would say your actions in your dreams have consequences. It's not a freebie. It's not a, hall pass to do whatever and anything and everything. I think your actions in your dreams have actual consequences, whether that be the whole iniquity thing and you're just building up iniquity, which gives place to the devil or to evil. And you're giving access to yourself and your household, especially if you're, a dad of a house, or if you're an independent man, you're your authority. I would say to be very, very cautious. And I don't know how much I would say try to get out there and lucid dream. I don't think it's bad to do that. If you're doing it for the purposes of dreaming and having more fun in your dreams, because it's more fun to be able to fly and jump through walls or whatever you do.
Second
I don't
life.
know. Yeah, Second Life. It's fun to do that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you're going to try to do this and be I'm going to connect with the spirits and figure out what they have to say to me, and now I can do this. Absolutely not. Don't do that. Please don't do that.
Don't.
That would be horrible.
Just don't.
No. That's a bad idea.
Because they'll communicate back, and you just...
Yeah, you will give them access, and you don't even know what you have given them access to. That's the problem. And that's where I have to be very careful, is that it's okay, I've dipped my foot in this pool that I don't even know what it's made of. I don't know how much it has access to me, and how all that. I don't know. It's all weird. But that's why one reason I wanted to talk about this stuff too, is because I'm sure other people have had experiences and stuff, and maybe they can give more light on, I don't know if it's practical application stuff and what to look out for.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't know.
If you've had a weird or a bizarre dream, an encounter, something in your dream, or you can lucid dream, hit us up, leave us a comment. We'd love to connect with you. Maybe we could get you on and share your story and talk about that, get a better understanding of the types of dreams and things that are happening out there that are people are having, and we want to talk about them. We want to share the stories. We want to share the experiences, because it's happening to you. It's you're not the only one. It's happening to a lot of people.
And that's really not even touching on prophetic dream stuff, which again, I think we both know people that they have prophetic dream things, which I don't understand that one at all. And someday we need to get them in here, but that's a whole other can of worms.
I think our big takeaway from this one is we need to sleep with the armor of God on and a tinfoil hat.
Yeah. Because it'll get you.
They'll get you.
They will if you're not careful. And if you can lucid dream, and even if you can't, try to do it. Pray in your dream, because I'm still trying to figure. I was I'm going to do this last night, and then I had other weird dreams, and it just didn't happen. But yeah, pray in your dreams and see what happens. I'm really going to be trying to try this and see. I don't expect to see brilliant lights and stuff. I don't know what's going to happen, and maybe I don't know if anything will happen.
Yeah.
And I think the worst thing that could possibly come out of that is if I somehow open myself up to something else and get deceived, which would be my own stupidity, because you're supposed to test the spirit if it tries to teach you something. So that would be the worst thing I think that could happen. The best thing that could happen is you talk to God, which is a good thing.
That is a great thing. Talking to God, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Highly recommended on this show.
Yep. There you go.
Talking to God is probably our biggest sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tinfoil Kingdom, brought to you by prayer.
Something like that. Yeah. There you go. Go dream. Go to sleep. Go take a nap.
And if you do, listen.
Hopefully we didn't put you to sleep with our...
if you do if you do encounter a spirit, test it.
Yeah.
I would just ask, who do you serve?
Mm-hmm.
Who do
There
you
you go.
serve? And they'll let you know right away.
Yeah.
You'll know.
And if it's a bad one, just say, be gone.
Yeah.
Do the hand gesture. It worked. I don't know. It's weird.
Speaking of being gone, we're out of here.
We're going to cut it.
Thanks so much for being with us, and we'll catch you next time in the Tin Foil Kingdom.
See ya.
Peace.